There is a lot I've learned about anxiety that I wish someone had told me earlier. Not quick fixes, not clichés, real things that actually change how you relate to it and how you live your life. So I want to share some truths that reshaped the way I see anxiety and the way I move through the world. First, if your peace depends on anxiety leaving, then anxiety is in control, not you. Think of it like an annoying house guest. If your whole day hinges on when they finally leave, they're calling the shots. But the moment you can say, yeah, I feel this, it's uncomfortable, but I can still live my life, the power shifts back to you. You're allowed to prefer calm. Just don't act like you must feel calm to function. Second, pay attention to how you talk to yourself. Imagine a coach who screams at a kid every time they mess up. That kid stays tense, afraid, always waiting for the next mistake. That's what harsh self-talk does to you. We think it motivates us, but most of the time it just keeps us on edge. Good coaches still push you to improve, but they do it with support, patience, and belief. Anxiety eases when you treat yourself like someone worth helping, not punishing. Third, anxiety and excitement aren't opposites. Calm and anxiety sit on opposite ends of the nervous system, which is why jumping straight from anxious to calm rarely works. But anxiety and excitement feel almost the same in the body. Same energy, same intensity. The difference is where your attention goes. Anxiety focuses on risk. Excitement focuses on reward. Instead of trying to shut anxiety down, redirect it. Ask what you might gain, what you might learn, or how this could make you stronger. Fourth, anxiety shrinks your life through avoidance. The solution isn't forcing yourself into massive leaps. That usually backfires. The real work is taking very small steps toward discomfort. So small they feel almost insignificant. You expose yourself, let your system adjust, and repeat. Over time, your tolerance grows. One day you look back and realize how far you've come, even though none of the steps felt dramatic in the moment. Fifth, you are not anxious. You are a person experiencing anxiety. That distinction matters. When you identify as an anxious person, anxiety becomes your identity. But when you say, I am noticing anxious thoughts or I am feeling fear in my body, you create space. You become the observer, not the emotion. And that space is where your power lives. Sixth, emotions are waves. When a wave hits and you fight it, it knocks you under. When you ride it, everything changes. Anxiety rises, peaks, and falls if you let it move through you. Feel it. Observe it. Notice how it shifts. It always does. Life becomes easier when you stop resisting and start riding the wave. Seventh, stop waiting for certainty. Life does not offer guarantees. Even with perfect planning, the things that go wrong are usually the ones you never anticipated. If you wait until risk disappears, you'll wait forever. Progress comes from learning how to act while things feel uncertain and how to cope when outcomes aren't what you hoped for. Show up before you feel ready. Eighth, most worries are fires that aren't burning. We waste energy preparing for disasters that never arrive. And when real problems do show up, we're usually more capable than we think. Save your energy for what's actually happening, not what might happen. Ninth, you don't need certainty to be confident. You need trust in your ability to cope. Saying I don't know what will happen, but I'll handle it if it does builds real resilience. That's not giving up control. That's placing it where it belongs. 10th, anxiety often exists because it once helped you survive. A sensitive nervous system usually learned to stay alert for a reason. It kept you safe at some point. The problem is that it hasn't updated. Instead of fighting it, help it learn that life is different now. You're older. You have more tools. You're not that version of yourself anymore. 11th, you don't need to fight anxiety. You can let it exist in the background while you live your life, or you can get curious about it and respond with kindness. Both work. The only thing that doesn't work is treating it like an enemy. Healing begins when you stop the war. 12th, don't wait to feel better before you act. Take anxiety with you. Anxiety only wins when it makes you stop. You can feel fear and still move forward at the same time. 13th, confidence doesn't come from avoiding failure. It comes from surviving it. When things go wrong and you get through them, something shifts. You stop needing perfect outcomes to feel safe. 14th, be mindful of what you feed your mind. Constant exposure to fear-based content trains your brain to stay anxious. Anxiety is easier to activate than it is to calm. Be deliberate about what you consume. 15th, give worry a schedule. Instead of worrying all day, assign it a time. When worries show up, write them down and come back to them later. Most of them won't even feel important by then. 16th, if meditation feels overwhelming, simplify it. Count your breaths. Focus on the numbers. Lose count, start again. That's the practice. It pulls you out of your head and back into your body. 17th, the wrong people keep your nervous system on edge. If you have to stay small to avoid conflict or criticism, your body never relaxes. The right people don't make you shrink. They help you expand. 18th, stop letting insecurity decide what gets through. Don't dismiss praise while welcoming criticism with open arms. You don't need tougher defenses. You need fair ones. 19th, you don't need everyone to like you. When someone opts out, let them go. It makes space for people who actually fit. 20th, real strength is letting the right people see you. Suppressing emotions doesn't protect you. It isolates you. Support regulates your nervous system. Choose wisely and let yourself be supported. And finally, remember this: your life is a story, and the way you frame it shapes how it feels to live it. The same events can mean failure or growth, delay or exploration, weakness or courage. You don't need fake optimism. Just recognize that you get to choose the lens. That choice matters more than you think. There are a few things about anxiety I wish I had understood earlier, before I spent so much time trying to fight it, fix it, or wait for it to disappear. These aren't tricks or quick hacks. They're shifts in how you relate to anxiety, and once that changes, everything else starts to change too. The first thing is this: if your life depends on anxiety leaving, then anxiety is in control. The moment you believe you must feel calm to function, you hand it power. You're allowed to want calm, of course, but you don't need it to live your life. When you can say, "I feel anxious, and I'm still going to move forward," control comes back to you. How you talk to yourself matters more than you think. Most of us motivate ourselves with pressure, criticism, and shame, assuming it'll push us to do better. In reality, it keeps the nervous system on edge. Imagine a coach who only yells when you mess up. Eventually, you stop taking risks. Anxiety eases when you treat yourself like someone worth supporting, not correcting all the time. Anxiety isn't the opposite of excitement. Calm is. That's why forcing yourself to calm down rarely works. Anxiety and excitement feel similar in the body, same energy, same intensity. The difference is focus. Anxiety looks at risk, excitement looks at possibility. Instead of shutting anxiety down, redirect it. Ask what you might gain or learn by facing what's in front of you. Avoidance is how anxiety slowly shrinks your life. But the answer isn't huge, overwhelming leaps. It's small, manageable steps toward discomfort. Let your system experience fear in doses it can handle. Over time, tolerance builds. Progress often feels boring while it's happening, but powerful when you look back. You are not anxiety. You are the one experiencing it. That separation is everything. When you notice anxiety instead of identifying as it, you create space. And in that space, you have choice. Emotions work like waves. When you fight them, they pull you under. When you let them move, they rise and fall on their own. Anxiety changes if you observe it instead of resisting it. It always does. Waiting for certainty will keep you stuck. Life doesn't offer guarantees. Even when you plan perfectly, the hardest moments are usually the ones you never saw coming. Growth comes from learning to act while things feel uncertain, not after uncertainty disappears. Most worries are problems that don't exist yet. You don't need to prepare for every possible fire. Trust that your future self can handle real challenges when they arrive. Anxiety often developed because it once helped you survive. A sensitive nervous system learned to stay alert for a reason. Instead of fighting it, help it update. Life is different now. You're different now. You don't need anxiety to go away to move forward. Take it with you. Confidence doesn't come from avoiding fear, it comes from surviving it. And finally, remember this. Your life already has a story. The way you frame it shapes how it feels to live it. You don't need fake positivity, just awareness that the lens you choose matters.